We have put together our rocket stove, and we have also completed an exploded view of our rocket stove. Now what we need to do is a working drawing of our rocket stove to Australian standards. So what we need to do is we need to come down here to this plus button down here, click on that, and we want to hit create drawing, and this menu is going to come up. What you need to do is make sure that you're choosing ISO A3. It comes up here in this first menu for me because I use this a lot. However, if it doesn't come up there for you, you need to go to this iOS menu up here, and you should be able to find all of them by clicking this link here. Then you just want to pick the A3 version. So we're going to choose A3. That is a piece of paper twice as large as A4. And we're going to hit OK, and that's going to load us into our drawing. So now we have this blank page where we can start doing our drawings. The first thing we want to do is come over here to this spanner symbol. And we want to change the views. So we go to this views section here. And instead of having first angle, in Australia we use third angle. So we're going to change that, and we're going to close that menu. What we want to do now is start inserting our project. Now the first page we're going to want to insert. We go down here to assemblies. We click on the assembly one. Down here for view orientation, we want to have isometric. And we want to change this to our exploded view. Come here and click on the page. And we're going to get a 2D image of our thing. Now that for me is too small, so I'm going to right click on my page and go to sheet properties. Here I can adjust the scale. And I'm going to set it to something that 1.8. Okay. So we are at a scale of 1 to 8. With our exploded view here like this. Add in a BOM table or bill of materials. So click on this symbol here. And we want to add this to this corner. See how there's a little yellow box that shows up when I go to the corner? That means it's going to snap onto that corner there. And now what we need to do is just adjust this. So it looks nice. So what I'm doing is I just need to go through and change all this text to 2 mil because for some reason it set it to 3, and that's going to make it too big. So it comes off the bottom of the page. So we just go through here and make it a bit smaller. When we print this out, it's not going to matter. So all I did was double click on the text area, and then in this box I type 2 mil, or just the number 2, and then I'm able to change it all and remembers that I want it to be 2 mil. But I have to go through and do each one, which is a pain. Okay, now that they're all done, I can shrink this back up and it fits nicely on my page. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add callouts. Now callouts is this button up here. It is a bubble with a number in it. So if we click on that, and we click on a part, we can drag out, and we get the number. Now this number relates to the number in this item list here. So we can see I clicked on the chimney, and number 6 is the chimney flue. So what we want to do is just go around and try and number all the parts. And you want to have these callouts be in the same row and not crossing over each other. So I wouldn't want to put this one over here because they cross there. I'd put it down here in line. So just go through and number all the parts. Okay, I think I got everything there. So I can click that tool again to get rid of it so I'm not holding it in my hand anymore. Next, we're going to come down here to the title, double click. We're going to call this Canadian Rocket Stove. I'm going to put in Gundagai High School. And I've already got my name over here in this block over here. This is drawing number 1, version number 1. So that's the first page. We want to add more detail here because we're not going to be able to tell how to actually build this thing just from this one photo or this one image, but we are able to see how it all goes together, which is why we wanted to have the exploded view. So if we come over here to this Sheets button over here, we can add a new sheet by coming up here and hitting this button here, which says Insert Sheet. So we have a new sheet down here. We want to now insert the open barrel end. We're going to make it pretty big. We want to see it from front on. So my view orientation is right, and if you followed my instructions, it'll probably still be right. Now, it automatically picks up the projection tool. So if we were dragged out here, we'd get what it looks from side on. We don't want that, so we're just going to come over here and click this tool again to let go of it. We're going to use the dimension tool here now, and we're going to zoom in, and we're going to start dimensioning this out. So I'm using this center mark tool to mark the centers of our arcs. So that's all the dimensions we need for that section there. So now we can go and insert another part. We're going to go with the door face. We're going to use the right hand side again and pop it in here underneath that one there. We're going to once again go through and dimension it all. Okay, that's all the dimensions we need for that one, so we can insert another part. We're going to do the door handle, and we're going to make this one to one. We're going to pop it in there. And you can see that this is, because this isn't the same ratio as these two drawings here, which is the ratio down there, it's got the ratio added here. We want to keep that there so that when people are looking at our drawings, we know that they will be able to know that this isn't the same scale as this. And we're just going to give this a couple little dimensions. And we're going to use this tool here. It's a note tool. It's got a little A there. We're going to click on the corner. That gives us a little arrow. We're able to type in here. And we're going to put in here M6 tap. That way we know that this end here is a tapped end. And we hit the tick button. We're also going to insert now the little door lock. We're going to make that one to one as well. Quickly dimension that. Now we don't want to overwhelm our pages here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a little line going down the middle to split these two sides off. Seeing as this side here is 1 to 1 and this side here is 1 to 3, we're going to leave it like that. Going to come down here, put a 1, tick, and we're going to put a new sheet in now. Insert. We're going to do the plate now. We want this to be 1 to 4. We want this to be on top. I'm going to right click this. I'm going to go to view properties. And I'm going to rotate this around because I want it to be going 90 degrees to my page like this. And now I'm going to go and dimension it. Insert again. And we're going to insert the flue. And we're going to insert the flue mount as well. Try and get it lined up as best you can. And we'll just go through and dimension this. And we're going to add another note down here to this section here. And this is crimping. So we need to crimp that on the Jenny and Swage in the workshop. We're just going to put a little note there so that we know that that's what's going to happen there. And that page there is done. So we're going to start a new page. And on this page, we're going to insert our handle. Let's make it a bit bigger. I'm going to make it 1 to 1. Put that in there like that. We're going to insert our handle pin. Yeah, so we put it in on top. align these two up as if they would in the workshop, in the project. And we're also going to insert our mount. We want to have a top view and a side view from it. So once you click there and you pull out again, you'll be able to automatically get the side view for it. That way we can have that profile. Okay, so now we're going to go through, we're going to dimension this up. We want to put in a center line through here. We want to right click on this and hit show hidden lines. And that's going to show us the hole that goes through here. We probably even want to have a projected view of this one. So if I go back here to the projected view tool, click on this, pull over to the side. That way we can see what the end is like. We'll dimension this up. Go to a new sheet now. We need to do the barrel seam. And we want to have a cross-sectional view of this. So we're going to go over here to the cross-section tool. Go through here. And so we're going to get this tiny little part here. We want to blow that up to 1:1. Maybe even bigger. We'll go 2:1. Make it nice and big. Pull that out, put it up here. Oh, it has to be in line. Okay. That way we can show the profile of what this is. Dimension this. Just like that. Dimension this one as well. Just needs to have that there. We're going to make it accuracy of 0. Let's put a divider down here, straight through the middle. And we're going to insert now the leg assembly. But we want to have the flat pattern of it. So if we come over here to this development looking picture and click on that, it's going to add the development of our leg assembly into the list. And we're going to want to have this at 1:1. And chuck it in there like that. We need to let go of that tool. So it adds these bend lines in here automatically. Tells us that it needs to go up by 90 degrees and it has a radius of 1. So we're going to leave those there. And then we're going to dimension this thing. We need to put a center line in. And we want to have our measurements coming off that center line like this. So that's that done. Now the last thing we need to do is the hinge for the doorway. So we're going to insert that down here, have it 1 to 1. We'll need the right hand side orientation, and we want to insert the large door hinge now. That's going to be the right orientation as well. It wants to be 1.1. Maybe if we go left. Yep, that's better. Go left. Put it there so it roughly lines up. And we're going to insert also the pin 1 to 1. Like this. We may as well insert also the nuts, sort of make a exploded view without going through the rigmarole of actually doing one. So now we're just going to go through and dimension this. We're going to add a note here. M6 tap both ends. And then that's this done. So to export this and actually put it in a format which you're able to print, you go over here to this 3 lines, which look like a hamburger if you imagine hard enough. Click on this, go to print, and it's going to automatically download this into a PDF, and you can use that PDF to print out your stuff. Now it is set to A3, so make sure that you are using a printer that is A3. Make sure that when you're printing, you select the option which doesn't shrink it or change it at all. Or you can shrink it and put it down into A4, but if you print it in A4, it's not going to be to scale, so you just have to watch out for that. You're all done. Good job. When you're producing working drawings, you need to make sure that you're able to give the plans to somebody and they're just going to be able to make the project just from those plans. So to check this, give it to a friend and see if they would feel confident in making it. Congratulations on making it this far through the videos. You've done a really good job. This is quite a complicated little thing to actually draw. Hopefully you've gained all the skills that you should be able to make your major project on here, and it should really be a walk in the park after this thing.